it now appears that cryptocurrency exchanges such as Binance could be banned in India, and that is after FIU, an agency under the aegis of Finance Ministry, has flagged that these exchanges continue to function in opposition or function despite the law of the land that is very stringent on money laundering. So allegations of money laundering and show cause notices to these exchanges have now been issued, post which central agency has also now asked IT Ministry to block these sites. My colleague Udisha Srivastav joining us here in the studio. Udisha, are these exchanges going to be blocked anytime soon? What are we hearing?
So the detail that we have for sure is for now is that yesterday the show cause notices were issued to 9 crypto platforms, and the 9 crypto platforms we are talking about, number 1 is Binance, number 2 is KuCoin, number 3 is Huobi, number 4 is Kraken, number 5 Gate.io, number 6 we have Bittrex, number 7 we have Bitstamp, number 8 we have MEXC Global, and number 9, the last, is Bitfinex. So these are the 9 crypto platforms that have been issued a show cause notice by the government of India. So the FIU, the Financial Intelligence Unit, which falls under the Ministry of Finance, it has issued show cause notices to these 9 offshore crypto platforms. And why these 9 crypto platforms have been issued with the show cause notices? This is because these crypto platforms have not yet complied with the anti-money laundering laws. So the PMLA laws, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. So these platforms have not yet complied. So what is FIU, Financial Intelligence Unit India, is saying that these platforms, because they have not complied with the law, they are operating illegally in the country. So that is what is coming in, and the FIU has also asked MeitY, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, to block the URLs of these 9 offshore crypto entities, because as I mentioned earlier, because these entities are required to be registered as reporting entities under the provisions of PMLA 2022 law. And this year, in March 2023, the government brought these VDASPC. So this is Virtual Digital Asset Service Providers. So government brought these under the provision of PMLA Act, but these companies have not yet complied. So the show cause notices have been issued.
So essentially, because these exchanges deal in virtual digital assets or currencies, they should have complied with the law of the land, and which is now that they were brought under the PMLA, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, they should have complied with the law of the land, but it now appears that they're not doing so.
They're not doing so, and from March 2023 to date, only 31 VDAs have complied. So the leftover, which is we are talking about the 9 of them, they have been issued the show cause notices, and a ban is likely soon if they do not comply with the law anytime soon.
All right. This is not surprising at all, Amit. Come to think of it, government and crypto exchanges being at loggerhead with one another and asking them to constantly comply with the law of the land. And come to think of it, globally as well, you've closely tracked what happened with Sam Bankman-Fried in the US, what happened with CZ in the US. It appears that the government does not want to get there just as yet, does not want many of these founders, exchanges to continue operating in India if they're not going to comply with the laws.
Yeah, and what the government is asking is something very basic, a statement of financial transactions that they have gone through during the year in dealing with their local counterparts. That's all. And these companies, it seems, have not even filed those. So it is like just the bottom of the pyramid that the government is asking them to do. The other things like the cases of Sam Bankman-Fried are a little bit more complicated. But so if these companies are not even doing the very basic of filing,
pledging and filing
the financial transactions, then there is a long way to go in terms of cryptocurrency compliance in India.
Okay, but would it be fair to say that India has at least taken the first step when it comes to ensuring that these exchanges abide by the law of the land? Because in the US, what we saw was unfolding of a saga after which many of these founders were jailed. There was a sentence that they're currently serving. CZ is currently serving that sentence. So it hasn't come to that in India just as yet. So sort of nipped it in the bud before the problem becomes bigger.
Yeah, and they learn from the US, and of course we know from history US is little bit more liberal when it comes to business practices, and they allow things to pile up before they take strict action. So that is why what happened with Sam Bankman-Fried happened. With India, they have taken the first step, and probably there will be more to follow if this does not happen.
All right, but government seems to be going after crypto exchanges, asking them to strictly comply with the law of the land. But you know, before I let you go, Udisha, this is an important investigation carried out by the Financial Intelligence Unit of the Finance Ministry. What have they actually found?
What they have actually found is that, so FIU, under the Financial Intelligence Unit, you, as if you are operating in India and if people are using these assets, then you are supposed to report these financials, etc. But if you have not reported the financials, if you are not doing the due diligence that is you are supposed to do under the law, first of all, you are not even registered as a reporting entity under the PMLA 2022 Act, then the first task is not even done yet. You will report about the financials later. You will do the other task later. But in the first place, you are not even registered as a entity under the law. Then that is the first breach, and the deadline is gone basically. In March 2023, the government asked these people, these entities, to be brought under the PMLA, but they have not complied with the law. And it has been 9 months so far.
Right. So not registered and not filed their financial details with the government might as well be engaging in money laundering. That is the fear that government has raised, and so likely staring at a non-existent future in India if they continue to operate the way they are operating at the moment.
And not just money laundering, what the government fears, and rightly so, it could be counter-financing of terrorism. So that is the biggest fear.
Absolutely. Financing of terrorism, of course, another fear that crypto exchanges have to, do away with. Some of these fears that have to be addressed and cannot be addressed by anybody else apart from crypto exchanges by coming out clean and opening their books for audit.